If you are a young person of around 25 and you want to be rich and wealthy by the time you're 50, then keep watching this video. The first thing we'll need to think about is changing our mindset. Normally when we start our first job and we spent a few years, what we tend to do is to go and buy all those things that we always wanted to buy. We go and get some new clothes for us. We go and try and get that fancy phone that we always wanted, or that motorcycle that you always dreamt of. But that approach will never make you wealthy. Think about it a little different. In the first approach, you are looking at from the money that you get to buy things that you want. I'm asking you to put one more layer in between. Use the money that you get to buy assets. Let the assets grow and make more money for you, and use that money to buy things that you want. You're just adding one layer in between, maybe delaying the whole process a bit, but that's surely going to make you rich and wealthy. What are these assets? I would talk of 5 assets that you must invest in. Number 1 is the stocks. None of you would have enough knowledge to invest in individual stocks, because it needs a lot of learning, understanding, following that company's business models, etc. Instead, take mutual funds. Mutual funds, where there's a collection of stocks which keeps changing and it's managed by a very knowledgeable fund manager, will help that asset grow. If you see over the last 10 years, every year it's grown, and it's grown well, even in bad years. In fact, it removes the whole issue of bad and good times, because timing is unimportant. You can get in any time, and ideally you should go in with something like an SIP, which is the systematic investment plan, which removes anything about timing out of the equation. You just need to be consistently putting a fixed amount of money and watch it grow. It just keeps growing. The second thing is gold. The thing about gold is that it continues to grow. Again, a very steady asset. It continues to grow, sometimes very rapidly, sometimes slowly, but it continues to grow over the years. And the other good thing is, when you have gold, you can also, it's a usable device, right? So it's something you can wear too. So use it and also watch it grow. The other advantage I think of when I think of gold is, it can be very easily converted to cash. So you ever need money in urgency, it doesn't take too long to convert gold to cash. So the number 2 I would recommend is to keep a certain set of assets in gold. Number 3 is real estate. Look at real estate, and when I say real estate, you may wonder, if you're just 25, how do you fund that? There are 2-3 things you should look at. One is obviously go for a housing loan, which from different people you find out which is the lowest interest one. The second thing, and the more important one, is to do a study of where you want to get a house. If you look at the different projects that are going on, you must get in very early in the project to get a much better price on the property. The second thing is also to identify those geographies in your city which are not so upmarket at this moment, but it might come up in the next 10 or 15 years, which is expected to come up. Okay, because as the city grows, it gets into new territories. So you will need to study, where is industry going, where are people going to be located, where they are going to stay closer to the where the factories are coming or the offices are coming, and things like that. Do a bit of study. And why I'm saying this is, these are the places where you can get a much better deal rather than in the center of the city. So the third one is real estate. So it's important. Real estate also has this other thing where appreciation is almost guaranteed in India. For example, in the last 25 years, good year, bad year, worst 2008, it has never gone negative. It's always grown. Maybe it's grown slowly in certain period and very aggressive in some other, but it has never gone negative. So it's a, in that sense, a safer asset to invest in. Okay. Real estate also, once the property is ready, it helps you, gets you cash flow. Okay, don't go and stay there yourself. You continue to stay where you are on rented or with somebody else, with your parents or wherever you're staying. But this, give it on rent, and there's a cash flow which comes, and it will actually help you pay off the installment that you have to pay monthly or quarterly on the loan. So it's an interesting asset class, fairly safer in a place like India. Could be a little turbulent if you are in the US, for example. The fourth one is a medical cover. Take a medical cover on for yourself, and it should cover your dependents like your parents, and if you're married or getting married, your wife and other dependents. You might wonder why it's an asset class for investment. It's in most countries and including India, the hospitalization and medical costs can drain all your money out. Okay, so it's very, very important to get a good health cover insurance at a very young age, because that's the time the premium you pay are the lowest. The last one is an asset class which I haven't done myself, but I read a lot about that. It's a very high risk but high return investment. My advice would be to talk to some experts on this, but start looking at bitcoins and cryptocurrency as an investment class, but study it before you get in. In a nutshell, what am I saying? I'm saying that when you are at 25 and you're just started getting money, your first thought should be to build these asset class. Okay, not all together, maybe one at a time, but get into this. And when I say invest in this asset classes, it doesn't mean you first do your expenses and spending and what is left you put here. You have to do it the other way around. You first decide as a plan that you're going to spend 15% of your money as investment in asset classes, and then figure out how to live in the remaining 85%. It's not the other way around. Okay, so investment in asset class is the priority, and then figure out how to live in the rest. Okay, that's golden rule number one. The second one that you must remember is that don't rush to buy things though it's very tempting. So build this asset class, let these assets grow, and use these assets to build wealth for you, and then buy things. Okay, salaries will never build wealth for you. The only way to build wealth is let money create more money, and that's the only way you will finally create wealth. Do this. If you have any comments, any feedback, any questions, any queries, please put it in the comments below and let me respond to that. Till next week, stay unstoppable.